everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing another episode of Professional Pet Groomer Reacts, and today I am reacting to a video called DIY Pet Grooming Routine by the channel At Home with Bentley and Albert. And I believe from the thumbnail it looks like they might be Yorkies, so we're getting a little look at a Yorkie trim. Alright, let's get right into it and see how it turns out.
Hi friends, I hope you all are doing great. It's me, Nikki, here to share with you how I am grooming Bentley and Albert. You know, we're in kind of this pandemic. I'm not having people over to groom them.
The pandemic was hard. It's commendable that she learned to do it herself.
Okay, to start, friends, I really had some things around the house, such as my Grove Caddy. I already had all of their kind of typical grooming supplies, such as brush and comb and things like that. But I wanted to create a little station so that I could put it up and down whenever I needed to groom them to really make it easy, because I figured this process was going to be a little difficult. I also want to say that I am not a groomer. I'm not a professional groomer. I highly recommend that you talk to a groomer, watch several videos, and do your research before you even attempt this. I did buy clippers off of Amazon, some pet clippers, after doing my research, and again I'll link all that below.
So I'm not sure what kind of clippers those are. I'm not familiar with that brand at all. It looks like it came with some clip comb attachments, so it's likely an adjustable blade, I would think. Usually you can adjust it anywhere from about a 15 to a 40. It's pretty typical. And then you would put the little clip clones, slide them over top to leave more of the length on them. Because if you shave them right with that blade, you're going to end up, it's going to be super short. So the only downside about using clip combs is they have to be completely tangle free. If they have a tangle when you're using a clip comb, what's going to happen is it's going to catch on the tangle, and then sometimes it can catch skin, so that can be a little dangerous. But also, if it just catches the hair on a tangle, it can go like shorter in that area, like kind of pull it. So yeah, you do have to be careful with that, because if it's going underneath matting, that's where it can catch the skin, right? Because the skin can lift up, and as you're going underneath, it can go into the blade essentially and nick it. So yeah, just a little tip: just be careful with those. Brush really well before you use an attachment like that.
But I knew this was going to be challenging, but I wanted to give it a try. One thing I will caution you again is when you're grooming your pets, you want to make sure to take your time and be careful. You do not want to harm your pet.
Great advice. Love it. Yes, please be careful and kind of go slow. Just don't rush it.
They have areas that you have to be careful of where you cut, because you don't know, it may be skin. So you just want to be really careful. I took the clippers here and I'm kind of just running them over Bentley's body because I want him to get familiar with the sound before I actually start using it.
Love it. Love to hear it. That's awesome. That's actually what I do with puppies as well. Is you just kind of turn it on at first. You can let them have like a little sniff of the non-blade end. If they want to have like a little sniff, you can even, when it's off, let them sniff the blade just to kind of get used to the smell. Like, what the heck are you going to put on me? And then just putting it on their body, get them used to the vibration. Yeah, that's a great way to desensitize a dog to a pair of clippers. Yeah, it just gets them used to the sensation, the vibration, the sound, just like all of that kind of stuff without actually going in right for a haircut. Because I mean, if they're scared and they're jumping and stuff like that and they're not used to it, it can get a little tricky. So if you kind of warm them up to it, especially puppies, that's awesome. This was really great advice. So yes, please do that.
That really did help. So that's a tip that really helped, was really to get them acclimated with the sound before I started cutting. And so what I did was I started slow. I didn't take off a lot of hair in the beginning because I just wanted to get my feel for it, about, for how much hair was coming off with each attachment, to make sure that I didn't overdo it. For me, it's not about them, really being this beautiful cut and everything straight here. It's more of them being comfortable.
Wonderful. Yes. Yeah, please. Be more concerned about how your pets feel versus how they look. It's just a haircut. As long as they are comfortable and happy, that is what matters. That's the bottom line. The haircut, it's great if it looks great, but some dogs it's just not feasible for. Other times it's just, if you're at home, it's not a professional groom, And so you have to have a little bit of leeway with some things. I really like what this channel, I wish I knew your name, but At Home with Bentley and Albert, I really like what you're saying. This is really great advice, and it's sound advice, and so far so good. Loving it. I hope it turns out well.
And so cutting the ears and around the ears is the most difficult because you do not want to hit the skin, and that is with Yorkie, you know, you can easily hit that skin on the ear. So I did watch a lot of techniques on this, and I felt like I pretty much had it under control. But of course, getting around that face is always difficult because one, they're a little more fidgety with their space, at least Bentley is, and then two, just the styling of it.
Okay, couple things just of note. I can see the attachment on her clippers right now, and looks pretty short just by the looks of it. My guess would be maybe anywhere from 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. So that's like if you're going blade lengths of number 7 or a number 5 haircut. So that's nice, good and short. If you're at home, shorter the better, right? So that's awesome. And then what she's saying about the face, yes, faces tend to be the most difficult. And you do have to be careful. I noticed, now she could, if she wanted to, take that attachment off of the clipper and just use the blade, and like a typical Yorkie ear is going to have like the first little triangle, like the tip of the ear is usually shaved, and that's pretty easy to do. You can just shave each side kind of thing, go off, you know, like don't go down, but like just right off the edge. And then that'll give you your nice tipped ears. And then what I like to do is I actually pinch the ear closed so that you're like almost folding it in half, and then you can go up the sides this way as you have the ear here. Mind you, I will say, since she's not a professional, I don't know how many times she's done haircuts on Bentley and Albert at this point, but you know, I know where skin is when I'm doing that, so it could be a little bit more difficult if you're a first timer, but it's a nice way to get both sides at once. So pick your poison, right? I mean, just make sure you're being careful.
And then go to the next one, which is my Albert. And Albert has thick, coarse hair. He has really thick, coarse hair. So, and he is a little more kind of more hesitant than Bentley. So I knew I had to do the same technique of getting him used to the clippers.
Not too much of note, but all dogs are different. 2 different dogs, 2 different hair types. So you're going to have different outcomes. One is a little bit more nervous than the other one, it sounds like. So yeah, I mean, using the same technique of getting them warmed up, that's perfect.
And then just starting slow and, you know, just kind of taking light layers off. But I have to give it to my pups. They did so good. They did so good with me doing this. They didn't give me a hard time. I will say the grooming table was amazing. It really made this process work.
Yes. Oh, so far so good. Loving it. Yes. Having a grooming table is going to make your job substantially easier. It's an elevated platform that just gets them up. They usually kind of behave better. If you're trying to do it on the floor, they'll likely try and run away from you. And then a grooming table is going to have an arm that you can attach, a grooming loop that keeps them stable, safe on a table. And this is advice that I've given clients over the years, just having an elevated spot to put them. A lot of people do it like they have a washing machine, bathroom, kitchen counters, just stuff like anything that's higher off the ground, especially for a littler dog. They generally feel like, okay, you know, this is what's happening and there's no escape, essentially. So they will behave better. So investing in a grooming table, if you're going to groom from home, it would be good advice.
I don't think I could have done it as easily as well without the grooming table. It really gave them a comfort. And they're used to a grooming table with their groomers. The groomers used to come to our house rather, and groom them here at the house, outside in their van, and they had the grooming station and everything. So this is kind of the setup that, you know, they're used to.
Love it. Love that she's keeping everything relatively the same. It really does help dogs feel a sense of safety, comfort, or they just kind of look at the situation and say, hey, I've done this before, I could do it again.
And so with Albert and all of his hair, it's just, I really just took, short layers off, and really we're getting those hot spots. But as you can see, there's a lot more hair with Albert. He has a lot of hair, but I got enough off so that they would be comfortable and they would be cool. So I wanted to give them a little break before giving them a bath. I could think this, is just kind of a lot to go from one to the other. So as I cleaned up, I wanted to just kind of let them run around and play. And of course, they want to bark up the neighborhood, as they love to do. And after everything is kind of put away, I wanted to give them kind of a spa treatment, because when their groomers come, they give them like this 10-point spa treatment. So I said, okay, what can I do for Bentley and Albert?
Yes, I love it. I don't know what she's using, but she is sanitizing her equipment after giving them their haircuts. So love to see it. Love to see it. Please sanitize your equipment. No matter you're at home or a groomer, always important. Sanitize, sanitize, sanitize.
To really give them a spa treatment and really have them smelling amazing. And so one thing that in my research that I would learn is good to do when your dog has aches and things like that is using the Epsom salt. And this here is a nice relaxing, it smells awesome by the way, Epsom salt that I wanted to soak them in, so that one, it could just kind of give them a relaxing little spa treatment like they normally get with their regular groomers.
So I see she's bathing them in Epsom salt, which, so I mean, it is safe. It is safe. It does mostly the same stuff it does for humans, like relaxing muscles, can improve nerve function. Also, it can be good for the skin, depending on your dog's skin at that moment. Like, it's not necessary for all, and in some cases it can exacerbate certain issues, but generally speaking, pretty safe. I don't know if she's going to use it on their face, but I would not recommend that. It's just, around the eyes and stuff. You do have to be careful. If it were me, I would probably like to give them at least a shampoo before doing the Epsom bath, because I feel like any of these skin benefits, if we're looking for just simply skin, you shouldn't shampoo them away afterwards.
I did a few weeks back with
that is cute.
Bentley when he had hurt himself, and so I would soak him in here, and he really loved to soak. And then I just kind of do a little pre-shampoo while they're in here, might as well, and before I take them and give them the spray down and really wash and everything.
Okay, pause here. So she did do the thing where I said I would not suggest, where she's shampooing them after their soak, but I digress about that. Let's just move on from that. The shampoo, it's Chi brand, it's okay. Excess keratin can be a problem. I saw it was like a keratin derived shampoo, and in some cases that can work really well. In others, it's not the greatest, but again, this all depends on their skin conditions. It's just not my favorite shampoo. I would pick something of better quality, I suppose.
And I wanted to take you all on the journey with me, but as I go along and I'm grooming them, I will be filming and sharing more as I learn techniques and really get more detail for you in case this is something you're thinking about doing. But I have to say, overall, the first go round went pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with it. Of course, they don't look like they've been professionally groomed as far as the cut, but that's okay. They're comfortable, and this is the first go round, so I want to share that with you. And so stick along to see how this whole journey goes as I learn how to groom my pets properly.
Oh, I would have really liked to see the final cut, though. I didn't get to see what it ended up looking like. That would have been kind of nice. It makes me sad when I can't see the final product. So my final thoughts. So all in all, really great. She had a lot of great techniques, like the acclimating the dogs. I know it was her first time, so I mean, she did awesome, though. The fact that she got all the equipment, like the table and the clippers with the attachment combs, that looked great from that perspective. Obviously, I would change up the bathing routine, maybe switch up the shampoo, not the worst, but not the best. And I would love to see more of the faces. I feel like we didn't really get to see much of that. or the legs or the feet. It was more just her going over the body. And because it was her first time doing the haircut, I was wondering if maybe a lot of that work was just kind of already a foundation from their previous groomer. You didn't really get to see what she was doing with that, but yeah, other than that, honestly, there's a lot of great tips in this video, and I don't really have that much bad to say about it. So great job. Awesome job at home with Bentley and Albert. Love it. Love it. Good job. Keep it up. Let's see more people do stuff like that. All right. Thanks for sticking around, and I will see you all in the next video.